As hard as Wizards of the Coast may try, players will not be forced into this. Hi everyone, welcome back. MTG Moxman here, and thanks a lot for hanging out with me on my channel today. Do you remember back in public school where your teachers would try to inform you about how commercials would try to influence you to buy certain products and think a certain way about a hair care product or an acne cream, a certain trend of clothes that was popular at the time, and to be aware of it and make your own decision? Wizards of the Coast has got to learn this lesson. They got to have, they're in a bit of an identity crisis trying to figure out how to solve this problem. And the real thing is, they don't have to solve it at all. And that is the collectability factor. When I first played Magic the Gathering, I'll be honest, I just played for the fun of it. We didn't really think, of course it was called the collectible trading card game, and we traded cards around with friends, but we didn't really think about the future value of those cards for at least a few years until things started to trend upwards. Now, as these things started to evolve and as the game has gone along, Wizards has tried many different ways to recapture as much capital as possible. They've gone with collector edition cards, international edition, when they realized how valuable those old cards were going to be. And they realized, they kind of missed the window on that. And they shut the door when they created the reserve list. And they've tried to crack that door open every once in a while. But let's face it, for now, the door is shut. Then they started giving us foil cards. Remember that? For those of us who've been around a while? A little bit of, what was that? Back in the Urza block, and you're like, oh, and you were amazed that they finally added foils to this amazing card game. And that was the standard for a number of years. Whenever you saw a foil edition card, that was hard to pull. The first Planeswalkers, super hard to pull. They had value, they had drive. Jace Barrowland, oh my god, remember that when it first came out? Like a $50 card. Where is it now? Where are those foils now? Wizards, you keep killing the golden goose, man. Every time you try to tell us that something is collectible, guess what? Less and less the player base is believing you anymore. Textured foils are the way to go. Numbered cards are coming. When will they? I have had this question on so many live streams and so many emails at this point that I'm going to give you guys my perspective on this. Whatever you find fascinating about the game, be it the artwork, the card style, the archetype, whatever it may be, if that's collectible to you, have at it. Because the good news is, there is probably a lot of players who think just like you. There's a lot of players who just love these planeswalkers. There are players who love certain creature types. I like thralls. And we collect those things. We build up our collections. But that doesn't mean that it's collectible or not collectible. It is collectible to you. And Wizards has got to try to stop forcing the issue. Okay? They got to stop forcing it. If you want to look at real collectability, like a Monet painting, a group of 7, amazing piece of original artwork, baseball cards from the 1920s, what Honus Wagner went for, like, I don't know, what was it, $12 million, whatever it was. I probably pronounced the name wrong. I apologize to all you baseball fans. Some of this stuff is so old it can't help but be valuable. But as Wizards keeps branching out and doing these small little branch offshoots of everything, they dilute their market. They trend it down a bit more. And there'll be niche people who want to collect those things. But Wizards has got to stop forcing the issue and saying, this is the one. Look how hard these are to get. Guess what? Any of those cards, any of them, any of these new textured foils, any of these, they are still far easier to get than we ever saw for the original printing of Alpha, Beta, Unlimited type rare cards. You want some vintage cards? Go for an Alpha Common. It's still far more rare, you see what I'm saying, than any of the cards you're seeing nowadays. If you're looking at rarity as your benchmark for collectability, they do not go hand in hand. There are people out there who like to collect the artist proofs. They love them. And they try to get from their favorite artists every time a set gets put out. They'll wait for those sales. I myself buy artist proofs all the time. I think they're amazing because to me those are limited. There's only a certain amount produced for each of those artists to resell in the market or to hold on to. So I value those cards. But you might be a person who says, hey, I value 7th edition foils. They're really old. They're really rare. Come on, that was the first. I understand. First time they came around those boxes, you're like, this is the one. Wizards has done this so many times. They've flipped the hat, flipped the trick, turned on the light switch and turned it back off again to get our attention, like in school, saying, hey, pay attention to this. It's important. If you do it too many times, it loses its luster. It loses the pizzazz. I mean, for years and years, when I came back to Magic, finding a mythic foil was really a big deal. That's why those cards were $50, $60, $70 every time. They were just so expensive because they were so hard to get. And there were certain rares you were looking for, and they were collectible because they were hard to get. But as Wizards dilutes that market, trying to draw more players in, they're diluting that collectability of the game itself by trying to pigeonhole and force us into certain areas of collecting. Wizards of the Coast, learn a lesson. History's taught it lots of times in school. Don't force the issue, let it happen organically. Other card games have also tried to imitate this collectability that Magic overall has pretty good success with, and that's going to be things like Flesh and Blood, all these other card games. They do try to mimic that because of the success that the game has had. But what made those games successful was the actual card game first. And then the value of the cards rose over time. First printing, second printing, alpha, beta, unlimited. It wasn't that there was some card that was going to be ultra rare and hard to get. The game has to happen organically. People have to want to play it and enjoy the cards. And if there's a certain artist that players like, Wizards, hire that artist again. If there's a certain Planeswalker they like, give us a few different alternate versions of that artwork. Make a slightly more powerful card. You see what I'm saying? You can go on with this forever, making up ideas of how to make a card collectible. I just gave you a dozen right now. And it doesn't mean any of them are going to work if the card game itself is not enjoyable to the player base. Players are going to collect the parts of the game that they want to collect. So don't let somebody talk you into something saying that these texture foils, they're going to be like $1,000 cards one day. They may very well be. How do I know? I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not telling you the future. But there's no guarantee it's going to happen. So you better get into the idea of collecting the things that you like to collect. Don't listen to Wizards of the Coast. They don't know. They're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. But if you enjoy that textured foil and that's for you, go for it. If you enjoy alpha, beta, unlimited, commons, uncommons, rares, whatever, any condition, whatever, go for it. Arabian Nights, first ever expansion of Magic the Gathering, go for it. Maybe you like Lorwyn, Shadowmoor, Ice Age, Alliances. Maybe you're a newer player who likes stuff from cons. Collect the parts of the game you collect. I'm getting a lot of emails about people kind of being tired of, what's collectible and what's not. It's whatever you think it is, and don't let somebody change your mind. I'm getting really tired of seeing people tell people that this is the way. There is no way. It's up to you. See these sealed boxes? Maybe they're collectible, maybe not. I'm hedging my bets and I'm going to enjoy them the day they go to zero and they're worth nothing. I'll still own them and I'll still have them. And I bought the boxes I thought were cool, not the ones people told me to buy. You can get opinion, you can get advice from people, from the experts who've been around a long time. But always take something with a grain of salt. Even what I'm saying now, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not the be-all, end-all, and neither is any other YouTuber out there. We're people just like you, playing a game we enjoy and talking about topics we think are fascinating to us, and hopefully some of you out there agree with that. So enjoy the day. Play the game. Have a good time. You're worrying about what's collectible? Just assume nothing is. Play it and have fun with it. Keep the cards you enjoy. Don't worry about the financial side. Unless you're a flipper investor, then you probably really need to pay attention to it. And then there'll be other people telling you there is no investing side to Magic. It's just cardboard. And then there'll be another side. Oh yeah, we already had this argument. We just had the conversation right now. Keep doing what you're doing and have fun doing it, because it's a great day to be in the world of Magic, and I hope you're all having an amazing day today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Let me know what you think about this. How do you feel being told that this is the way or this is the way? You getting fed up yet? Let me see that in the comment section. Guys, have an awesome day. I'll see you tomorrow for sure. This is the moment, the place and time where I say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of the fantastic patrons who support this channel, support my efforts. Thanks. here we are. After credits scene. Glad you're all here. We're going to open a pack of Zendikar. You know what? I have a couple leftover packs from the 10K party. And maybe I'm going to get myself an expedition. You know what? I feel like this is that moment. I won't be told what to do. We got the Ranger. And we got the Blighted Woodland. Not the worst card, actually. Hey, we got a Titan's Presence, which that's kind of freaky if you saw that coming at you. We got March from the Tomb. Remember that card? Anything else after that? And a beautiful... No, we didn't get an expedition, guys. Sorry. But don't worry, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. 'Cause you know what? Now, Dominaria. I know, it's the end of the video. Why not? We're going to open this Dominaria pack. And we are going to hope to get Mox Amber. Mox Amber. Why not a Mox Amber, right? Okay. We got the Eldest Reborn. Ooh. Then we got Board the Weatherlight, because, you know, it's been Phyrexianized now. We got Urza's Ruinous Blast. Remember that? All right, what's next? And we got the Keeper of the Flame. And we got a land. Nothing great there. You know, the Ruinous Blast is actually a pretty good card. Exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. Remember, they just gave us a lot of legendary stuff. Stuff like this will fit into Commander now. I'm going to put it over in this pile. Because you know what? I got to remind myself sometimes that there's a lot of crazy good cards out there. So, thanks a lot for hanging out with me. Thanks for chilling with a villain. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And you made it till the end. So let's put Ruinous Blast inside the comment section. So I know who you special people are. I do keep tabs, you know. And don't forget to pay attention to that 20K Colt box. That box with goals on it there, man. We got stuff going with that. You never know when, though.